The time is now 7 p.m. Time for the CBC Evening News. This time check is brought to you by Fruta.
The CBC Headline News, brought to you by Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network.
An exhibition honoring some of the nation's prime ministers. A critical role identified for tax planners. And in sports, more teams and more prize money for this year's block drafts.
The CBC Headline News, brought to you by Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network.
Credible, balanced, committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
Very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Broom with the CBC Evening News. In our top story tonight, the Personnel Administration Division, or PAD, has until Wednesday to respond to the National Union of Public Workers or face coordinated action by the trade union movement. This warning from General Secretary of the National Union of Public Workers, Rosalind Smith. She was speaking after a meeting with NUPW shop stewards to bring them up to date on the impasse between the PAD and the NUPW.
Our next move, we will be meeting now with our sister unions. So that'll be our third move. We'll bring the unions together and we will strategize from there. Obviously, I would not go into the finer details because we have to be very careful. You know, everyone is not confidential and we need to be very strategic about our plans.
Ms. Smith says the shop stewards pledged their support for whatever action the unions deem necessary to resolve the impasse. The issue at hand involves NUPW President Akani McDowell. He has been informed that he will no longer hold a senior post of Health Planner 1 and revert to his substantive post of Environmental Health Assistant, where he started in the public service more than a decade ago. The NUPW has deemed the move not just an attack on their president, but on the trade union movement in general. Politics should not be the main focus of this year's independence celebrations. This assertion from General Secretary of the Democratic Labour Party, George Pilgrim.
As a country, we should celebrate our leaders because we are not ashamed of what they have achieved. I use this opportunity to ask all Barbadians to gather in a family-friendly manner to celebrate our journey from colony to nationhood. Do not let politics define our 50. This is one Barbados, one journey, one people, and one celebration.
He was speaking today at the official opening of the DLP's photo exhibition honoring 4 of Barbados's 7 prime ministers at the party's headquarters. Now also addressing the gathering was Sir Frank Alleyne, who has served under all 4 prime ministers under the ruling Democratic Labour Party. He says Barbadians have much to be thankful for, particularly in the post-independence era.
All of them have something in common, starting from Mr. Barrow, Mr. Sandiford, David Thompson, and the Honourable Fandel Stewart. The factor which the principle rather which they share in common is a concern for the promotion of the quality of life for the broad masses of the country.
Well, students of the Blackman and Gollop Primary School were the first to view the display, which included household items from yesteryear, as well as DLP paraphernalia. The exhibition is set to run until the end of November. Barbados is signatory to international conventions that make it illegal to discriminate against a person due to his or her sexual orientation. And an attorney at law says this position will open the island's legal and social systems to challenges. Johanna Duglin was one of the speakers at the Barbados rally, part of the events by churches across the island to celebrate the 50th anniversary of independence. She says it is only a matter of time before the courts are asked to recognize same-sex marriages. Ms. Duglin also says there will be efforts to revamp the education curricula to have age-appropriate, gender-neutral literature in the schools. The attorney adds that the challenge will also call for a separation of law and religion, which will invalidate the tenets on which Barbados' constitution is based. Tax planners from Commonwealth countries meeting in Barbados have been told they have a critical role to play in the development of their respective countries and the grouping as a whole. This was part of the message from Finance and Economic Affairs Minister Chris Sinclair. He was addressing the grouping which has gathered for the Commonwealth Association of Tax Administrators, or CATA, technical conference. The meeting is being held under the theme Enhancing Tax Compliance Through Strategic Alliances.
I therefore view this conference as a critical part of the ongoing process to improve not only the way in which we structure and administer our taxes, but how together we seek to insert our voice in how the international discourse on the process of tax compliance, tax regulation, and tax transparency is shaped. This is particularly the case since most, if not all, of our members, that is CATA members, are indeed members of or affected by such processes as the Global Forum, and certainly by the issues which they portend in one fashion or another.
Minister Sinclair also points out that Barbados has implemented several measures to improve its tax administration and ensure it is compliant internationally. And he says the island is reaping the benefits of those efforts.
Such has been our progress in this regard, that not only have we assumed a central role in both the OECD and FSB processes, but just as recent as September, the OECD upgraded our status to largely compliant with the requirements of the OECD Global Forum on Tax Transparency and Exchange of Information for Tax Purposes. Indeed, further to this, we are one of the few jurisdictions across the developing world to have successfully completed 2 full FSAP reviews, financial sector assessment reviews, and are poised to undergo a 3rd one very soon.
From Best Digital Bank to Bank of the Year, and now a guardian of our heritage, Scotiabank Barbados has much to boast about as it partnered with the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation to recognize the island's 50th year of independence. Senior banking officials were on hand to witness the Director of Retail Banking for the Caribbean East, Claire Jordan, raise the Barbados flag outside of the CBC's Pine St. Michael headquarters. Ms. Jordan says the year is of double importance to the bank as it celebrates its 60th anniversary. And looking towards the future, she says everyone has a role to play.
We have so much for which to be thankful and proud on this island nation, and we all have a part to play in how we shape the future we want for our children. As we come together to look back with pride, let us also look forward with optimism and determination, knowing that we are indeed the craftsmen of our fate. Thanks very much, and we look forward to being a part of this independence.
And producer and presenter Cassandra Crawford says Scotiabank has much to celebrate.
I would like to take this opportunity to extend a very sincere thanks to you for having the vision that you have had with and for Scotiabank to do so well as it has and has served us so well for the past 60 years. We want to thank you for having that same vision and foresight to be a part of the Guardians of the Heritage effort, and certainly we feel proud to see your logo right here as well, flying one of Barbados' flags as we celebrate 50. You two have a lot to celebrate, so congratulations and thank you.
Coming up, Something Bajan, where we take a look at a talented young makeup artist. Stay with us.
Don't let your data experience slow you down. Step up to Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network, more than twice as fast as the slow network. Get more with Digicel. Digicel, the fastest 4G network in Barbados. Dial *153 to sign up to Digicel today.
More great cities just got closer. The Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard is now even better. Fly to New York, Miami, Orlando, and Fort Lauderdale with just 20,000 Scotia points. With your new Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard, you'll receive a welcome bonus of 10,000 Scotia points, so you can enjoy the cities you love most sooner than ever. Apply today. Call 426-7000 or visit your nearest branch.
Greater education is needed in the management of diabetes among young people in Barbados. And this from pediatrician Dr. Michelle Lashley. She says a diagnosis of diabetes can place children and adolescents at greater risk for negative psychological effects. Young people with the disease often face peer pressure, and Dr. Lashley says it can be difficult to make good nutritional choices. She says education and treatment, which should include an exercise regime, are key.
We have to prescribe exercise. We have to put it on the prescription pads. We have to tell them it's not just, it could happen. It has to happen. Physical activity must be the routine, and it's hard to mention this in the digital age where the exercise seems to be on your fingers and thumbs. Decreasing screen time is important. So if you do less screen time, hopefully you will be outside a little bit more.
Well, Dr. Lashley was speaking at the Hibiscus Health Caribbean Inc. Diabetes in Youth Workshop, where stakeholders met to discuss issues dealing with diabetes. She says frequent monitoring of blood sugar levels is necessary. Barbados' only cheesemaker has set her sights on the world stage. Andrea Power, owner of Hatchman's Premium Cheeses, will make her debut at this year's World Cheese Awards. Ms. Power says she is honored to be representing Barbados at an event that will showcase some 3,000 cheeses from across the world.
This is really an opportunity for us to put Barbados on the map, to signal to the world that, and in the world's food capital, really, culinary experiences in San Sebastian are raved about globally. So we really are going to the Mecca, if you will, and signaling to the rest of the world that Barbados is here. Barbados makes a very good quality cheese. It's highly sought after, and it's very widely supported by our hospitality sector here in Barbados.
Ms. Power says none of it would be possible without the sponsorship she received from Cobbler's Cove Hotel. General Manager Will Oakley says the company is proud to promote a 100% locally made cheese plate.
As part of our guest experience, we offer a market tour, and it was on one of the market tours that I took the organisers of the World Cheese Awards to Andrea's facility, and they were so impressed by the quality of the cheese that she was producing that I offered to sponsor for Andrea not only to enter her cheese but also to go as a judge to San Sebastian in Spain in 2016.
Well, still to come, a look at some of the stories making headlines across the region. But first, here's a tip from Coverley Medical Center.
Increased physical activity may reduce your overall risk for cancer and heart disease by about 10 to 30%. So, have you booked your next annual checkup?
Troy Awesome, the head florist for Hastings Flower Mart. Sandals does have an effect on Hastings Flower Mart because it gives us the opportunity to provide them with quality flowers and quality work, and in exchange in doing that, we also push in our own business as well.
Sandals Resorts International thrives on mutually beneficial partnerships with hundreds of businesses.
It doesn't take a lot to work with Sandals, it just takes dedication. Sandals have been with Sandals from its inception, which is about 2 years now. They have improved and they have given back to the society and to the individuals that work here. My name is Markson Downey. I am a landscaper, gardener with Sandals, Barbados. Yes, I am Sandals. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
All behind me there, you can see the marijuana plant.
Fetters and beats is
Sweat, I come out to sweat, I went to sweating more than you. I come to wine and jam and I sure to catch it more than you.
It was always a very boring job.
This is the future Caribbean Opera.
Morning and evening, we jumping up. This is me home and not leaving. I can't get over this.
In regional news now, we begin in Haiti. Flooding caused by heavy rain over the weekend has killed at least 10 people in 3 northern provinces. The Interior Ministry and the Civil Protection Agency also report flooding in the southwestern peninsula hit by Hurricane Matthew last month. Civil protection official Jean-Henri Petit says nearly a foot of rain fell around the northern city of Cap-Haïtien over the previous 48 hours. 7 people died in and around that city and 4 were missing. The dead include a mother and 3 children whose house collapsed. Guyana's tourism product will go on show in London this week. A Guyanese delegation is taking part in World Travel Market 2016 in the British capital. Dennis Glasgow reports.
Director of the Guyana Tourism Authority, Indranath Harold Singh, on Friday took the opportunity to express how excited the authority is to participate in one of the largest travel trade shows in the world.
Participation in travel trade shows is a very important aspect of the Ghana Tourism Authority's marketing mix and strategy.
Guyana has been participating in many travel trade shows that provide this country the opportunity to network, negotiate, and conduct business with global travel agencies. This particular event is considered one of the largest gatherings of tourism and hospitality professionals, with a projected number of attendees surpassing 50,000 persons.
Ahead in sports, South Africa blows away the Aussies at Perth. First, here's a tip from Cooperators General Insurance.
This tip of the day is brought to you by Cooperators General Insurance Company Limited. Insurance the way you want it to be.
Let's celebrate 50 years of independence. Did you know the name Barbados is derived from the bearded fig tree once found in abundance on the island?
What inspires you? Is it nature in all her glory? What excites you and fills your heart with joy? Is it his smile that brightens a room like the colors of the rainbow?
Make your Christmas colorific with Berger. Shop to win fantastic instant prizes and enter for a chance at a shopping trip for 2 to Miami with $1,000 spending money. See the press for details.
Berger Paints. All the colors of you.
Countdown to 50.
Hi, I'm Diossia Holligan, student of St. Roberta Primary School, and I'm also a brownie member of the Unit 137. There are only 23 more days until the 50th anniversary of independence. Happy Independence, Barbados.
Countdown to 50.
Calling all kids. Let's celebrate Barbados' 50th anniversary of independence with the Nichols Bakery Q Kids. November 19th at Pirates Cove as we hopscotch, line dance, sing karaoke, and play on the giant slides and jump in tents to boot. Adults $5 and children, you're free. Wear your blue, yellow, or black to show you love Barbados. Sponsored by Nichols Bakery, Burger King, and Wabisco.
Good evening, I'm Sean Green with the CBC Sports. There will be $9,000 in prizes for the taking when the National Amateur Block Drafts Tournament gets underway next week. Now, the tournament, which started back in 2012, has grown bigger and bigger each year, with a total of 35 teams taking part this year.
The prize money moved from $4,000 in 2012 to $5,050 in 2015. And, of course, this year, the total prize money will increase to $9,050 this year, which means that we're offering even further reward for what we consider to be keen and appropriate performance and participation in this important activity. In addition to that, the first prize is now $2,000, which is an increase of $400 from last year's tournament.
Minister Lashley also says that the 6th edition of the competition will see some changes.
This year, the tournament has made a few changes to the rules in order to stay, of course, within the mandate of the Youth Development Program. You are aware, of course, that we are a youth agency and our clientele must be between the ages of 9 to 29 years. However, of course, we know that within the context of this program, you will have some persons who may fall outside of that age group. But we are going to amend the rules to state that at all times our matches which we have, there must be at least 50% of our captured age group participating in the tournament.
On to cricket news. Australia suffered a 177-run defeat to South Africa. This was in the first test at Perth today, with Kagiso Rabada taking 5 for 92 to bowl the host out for 361. Now the Aussies resumed the day on 169 for 4, looking to survive 3 sessions rather than chase down their unlikely 539-run target. Rabada's 4th 5-wicket haul and his 9th in Test cricket helped the Proteas take a 1-0 lead in the 3-match series ahead of the second test in Hobart and a day-nighter in Adelaide. Now here are some of the highlights of the day's play.
So pace from one end and spin from the other. And a good start from Mitchell Marsh. Just a little bit straight and he's whipped it for 4.
They still have to keep very clear heads and make great decisions for long periods. Khawaja will hit 6s. Mitch Marsh in it. Into a small gap. Another good result. Oh, has that hit the pad first? The umpire has said no. It's been spooned back down the ground. It's a single. It's pad bat and it's being reviewed. Rabada has got an in-swinger working to the right-hander. Out.
Yep. That's a good shot, Peter Neville. Nice extension through the ball. That'll give him a bit of confidence. And there'll be 4.
Nicely played. That's down the ground here at the Wacker. In time to perfection. Put pressure on the fieldsman, but that one is too short. So Pete Neville gets into a really good position to play it. That's close, really close. It's LBW. Oh, missing leg, no, says the umpire. That's LBW, is it? Yes, it is.
That might be it, it's through. That will be 50 for Peter Neville. Well played. Not giving up the fight. Hanging in there, getting some valuable runs for his team, but also for himself. Oh, has he got him? He has. Bavuma's got him. He's got the breakthrough. Oh, this time he's given him his first wicket, and a big one for South Africa because they win the first test match. What a crucial win this is for South Africa.
And a reminder of scores of the match: South Africa 242 and 540 for 8 declared. Australia 244 and 361, losing by 144 runs. That was good to see. New Boys All-Stars have sent a signal that they're ready to compete in the Goddard Enterprises Limited Men's Division 1 League. Although they lost last night to Progressive in their final game, the final game of round 1, that is, they defeated Foundation United in their penultimate match to get their first win. Meanwhile, Flo Deacons remained in the lead with victory over Cormier. Here's Mark Seal.
All-Stars took on Foundation United in the first game and wasted no time getting into their work. Judo Olympian Kyle Maxwell gets up and goes down the middle. Foundation took offense at that and replied with a spike of their own. But All-Stars were back in their faces through former Progressive player Rene Archer. He goes through the middle for the point. Archer then blocks the attempted dink to give All-Stars the first set, 25-15. We fast forward to the third set with All-Stars up 2-0, but Foundation were on the prowl, and their captain Darian Seal leads from the front, producing the ace. All-Stars then came with some defense. Maxwell and Kyle Croney teaming up for the rejection. However, Foundation made plans for this set, and Brandon Callender carried them out to a T. Croney sought to rectify the problem, bringing power with this spike. But Foundation stuck to their plans, and it paid dividends as they took that set 25-20. In the fourth, All-Stars found back their rhythm. Archer through the middle again. Foundation didn't give up though. Seal sends a message that it's not going to go down that easily. Jason Hendy appeared to put a stop to that thought. He goes cross court with the sizzling spike. And if that wasn't enough, he brought the house down with the next play to close out the set and match, as it finished 25-19 for All Stars to win 3-1. In the second game, Flo Deacons took on Cormier. Deacons started hot. Kyle Brown with the fiery ace. Brown then returned with the spike to burst through Cormier's wall. Here, not the best of sets, but Brown adjusts to beat this block again. He was devastating on Cormier's defense. On the other side of the court, Mark Lewis goes down the line, trying to fight fire with fire. But Cormier were outplayed in the first set, Deacons taking it 25-20. In the second, Deacons picked up where they left off. Perdell Blunt comes through the middle, and it wasn't easy. Cormier started to catch a groove, and it put Deacons on the back foot, with Lewis once again showing his strength. Then Sean Simpson joined the fun for Cormier, coming from wide to get the point. And once the offense was in order, the defense started to sort itself out, as Cormier took the second set 25-21. But after taking the third set, Deacons came even more aggressive, trying to close out the game. Cormier, though, continued to match shot for shot, causing problems for the Deacons defense. However, Deacons would be the victors of this game, finishing the fourth set 25-20 and the game 3-1.
Back now to our count up to 50 great Bajan moments.
April 28, 2007, Bridgetown, Barbados, Kensington Oval, the sixth venue to host the ICC Cricket World Cup Finals. There were 9 editions, but Lords in London, England hosted 4 of them. The others being Kolkata in India, Melbourne, Australia, Lahore, Pakistan, and Johannesburg, South Africa. Bridgetown, Barbados, Kensington Oval being the 6th and the first in the Caribbean. That great moment was years in coming. It was in 2004, August 1st, that it was announced Barbados was going to host the final.
Ladies and gentlemen, people of the Caribbean, the black package and the final of the ICC Cricket World Cup goes to Barbados.
Representing Barbados, this receiving group led by Chairman of World Cup Barbados Inc., Mr. Chris Ducaries, Mr. Hudson Husbands, and Mr. Clyde Sobers.
This moment culminating on April 28, 2007, when Australia won the 9th edition of the ICC Cricket World Cup, beating Sri Lanka by 53 runs under the Duckworth-Lewis method at Kensington Oval in Barbados. A great Bajan sporting moment. Men's volleyball, the CARICOM Championships, 12 times. The men's volleyball team, 10 championships. One of the best times, 2000. Right here in Barbados, the men's volleyball team made it 4 wins in a row in CARICOM Championships.
Now we have De Leon with the serve. He's in the backcourt. Barbados will try to capitalize with him in the back. Flat serve. Oxley with the pass. Set by Addison. Back to Oxley. Dug by backboard. Barbados will have to try again. Addison. Back set for Niles. Boom. Into the foot of backboard. And he's limping from that spike.
What Barbados need is 2 breakers. Not even 2 attacks. Just 2 breakers of any kind. And the game is theirs.
And we'll take it. Short serve by Grace. Set bar for De Leon. De Leon is blocked by Oxley. Blocked by Oxley. Barbados 1 point away from taking the men's title. Here we have now Grace with the serve. The come. Set. Off the blocks. Barbados is point. Barbados are the champions.
The Barbados men's volleyball team beating Suriname 3-1 to win the 2000 volleyball title and making it 4 wins in a row for Barbados. A great Bajan sporting moment.
And that's it for sports. Lisa returns with the business news.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, my darling.
Thanks, Mr. Banks, man. Thanks, man.
Cheers, mate.
One more. Right.
Thanks, man.
Each and every day, we're thankful for something. And we're thankful for you. We couldn't do it without you.
Best 7-Star and Hennessy in association with Flow and Hot 95.3 FM present Hennessy Artistry. Saturday, December 3rd, 2016 at the Kensington Oval, Barbados. Showtime 9 p.m. Featuring international superstar Miss Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill. Beanie Man. Beanie Man. Bounty Killer. Bounty Killer. And Taurus Riley. From Barbados Cover Drive, Don Trent and Damian Marvey. MCs Peter Coppin and Vane. General tickets $90 and $100 while stocks last. Hennessy Privilege Lounge $300. Barbados, let's celebrate 50 years of independence with a special Hennessy Artistry Weekend, December 2nd to 4th. Happy 15th anniversary, Barbados. Hennessy, never stop, never settle.
This is the Business Report, brought to you with the compliments of CIBC First Caribbean.
Developing a Barbados brand which encompasses the highest set of standards for goods and services is a must for the island. This is the belief of Minister of Commerce, International Business and Trade, Donville Innes. Speaking at a small business seminar this morning at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Centre, he said this will also help to foster consistency.
This island for too long has been settling for mediocrity in too many areas and behaving as though the world owes us a favor. We have a wonderful opportunity to create products and services of the highest possible standard. It can actually allow us, therefore, to command a better price for what we provide. It helps to promote the island. It creates jobs, it saves foreign exchange, earns foreign exchange, etc. It's a work in progress.
Minister Innes stresses that following standards is a best practice for all involved.
What we're really striving towards is to get a national conversation going as to the importance of standards. And it's not just for the staff in the standards department, the ministry, or the BNSI to do it. There are, of course, on the regulatory and the enforcement side, but it must be for this nation, Barbados, to recognize that in all we do, we must adhere to standards. We must set standards and adhere them.
There needs to be national discussion on debt restructuring. That's from Vice President of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Barbados, Andrew Brathwaite, as he addressed the launch of Accountants Week. He says more still needs to be done to deal with the country's debt, despite government's efforts to cut expenditure.
The big issue there is whether we should not have more cuts in public sector expenditure on salaries and wages. This, of course, is a highly emotional issue. No one wants to see public sector workers losing their jobs. But again, it means that we have to put on the table for discussion whether there should not be a cut in salaries across the public sector, similar to what we did in the early 1990s when we cut public sector wages by 8%.
Well, here's a look now at how stocks traded on selected exchanges across the region.
In Jamaica, Jamaica Broilers Group was a volume leader with 278,800 units, followed by National Commercial Bank Jamaica Limited and Scotia Group Jamaica Limited. In Trinidad, Prestige Holdings Limited was a volume leader with 283,270 shares valued at $3,115,970, followed by Angostura Holdings Limited and Grace Kennedy Limited. And in Barbados, Sagicor Financial Corporation Limited was the volume leader, trading 10,832 shares at $2 each, followed by Fortress Caribbean Property Fund Value Fund.
Fly away to somewhere new, buy a gift just for you. Get cash back or give it away. Choose your reward, choose it today.
CIBC First Caribbean Visa Classic and Visa Gold credit cards now have rewards, and you choose how you use your reward points. Get merchandise from international stores or receive cash back on your card. And Gold card holders can use their points towards flights on any airline.
To fly, to buy, to get or to give, shop, earn, enjoy with CIBC First Caribbean Rewards Visa Classic and Visa Gold cards. CIBC First Caribbean, for what matters.
International business now. Facebook's Vice President of Global Marketing Solutions, Carolyn Everson, recently said that the next billion people to get online are going to be mobile only.
More than 1.7 billion users on Facebook each month, 1.1 billion a day, more than 90% of your users on mobile. You've said, Carolyn, that mobile is the most profound change that we've seen in the business. You call it the fourth industrial revolution. Are you looking at a day when potentially Facebook is used exclusively on mobile?
What we see in terms of mobile usage is it's by far and away the dominant use case. And if Facebook were starting today, we would have started as a mobile company. One of our biggest themes that we talk about is not only the shift of Facebook going on mobile, but actually becoming of mobile, which means taking advantage of the unique things that actually can only happen on a mobile environment. And you're going to continue to see us explore with camera and location opportunities, which are very unique to the actual mobile environment. Instagram was started as a mobile-only company. The next billion consumers that are going to come online are going to be on mobile only.
And that's business. Weather is next.
That was the Business Report, brought to you with the compliments of CIBC First Caribbean.
There's a hero. If you look inside your heart, you don't have to be afraid of what you are. And there's an end.
Thank you so much for helping us to make a difference in the lives of so many people here in the Caribbean.
Thank you so much.
So from all of us here in the Caribbean, we'd like to say a big
Play the new hot ticket, Super Sizzling Sevens, and you could be swimming in cash with a top prize of $107,000 and 21 chances to win $107,000 on each ticket.
Countdown to 50.
Hello Barbados, I am Natalie Clark, a teacher at the Ellerton Primary School. As an educator and a mom, I join with our nation in celebrating the many advancements in education as well as the empowerment of women across our island. There are 23 days left until our 50th anniversary of independence. Happy Independence, Barbados.
Countdown to 50.
Santa isn't coming to you on a sleigh this year. He's booked his flight early on Liat to get the lowest fares. You get the lowest fares when you book early. So do like Santa and don't wait until the last minute. Liat, the Caribbean airline.
Good evening and welcome back. And it's a trough system that moved across our area last night, creating heavy showers across the region. The airport had almost half an inch of rainfall, 16 millimeters of rainfall. Well, that trough has dissipated now. There's still a lot of instability around, but has not as many showers today reported at the airport. In fact, it didn't rain at all today at the airport. The maximum temperature today, though, 31.2 degrees Celsius, and overnight we saw the minimum temperature dip to 25.5 degrees Celsius. Right now, the temperature is down to 27.7 degrees. The relative humidity 82%, and that signals that there is some excess moisture at the lower levels, and the winds are moderate and coming in from the east-northeast. And as I said, that trough system affected the islands of the eastern Caribbean. Today, a lot of the instability pooling around the northern islands, so it continued to be cloudy there with showers and isolated thunderstorms. Although the atmosphere was moist across the Windward Islands, they only had the odd shower and possible isolated thunderstorms throughout the day. We're watching a trough system, another trough just to the east of us at 55 degrees west, and that system is going to be moving into our area tomorrow, adding to the instability that's around, so we could look out for more showers and thunderstorms. And we're seeing the thunderstorms approaching, in particularly the Windward Islands, and we're expecting Barbados to get some of those showers starting after midnight. So for the next 4 days, in terms of our long-range forecast, showers and thunderstorms starting after midnight in Barbados. Overcast conditions, showers and thunderstorms will persist into tomorrow, and on Thursday and Friday we'll see skies clearing, but scattered showers will persist. Sunrise will be at 5 minutes before 6, and the sun will set at 5:30. Our first daytime high tide 21 minutes before 11, and the first daytime low will be at 5:30. Seas will be slight to moderate in open water. We're expecting normal sea swells peaking at around 2 meters, while the winds will come in from a generally easterly direction, and wind speeds will vary between 15 and 35 kilometers per hour. So tonight we'll start off fair, increasingly cloudy. We're expecting scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms after midnight, and the cloudy conditions will roll over into tomorrow, and the showers and isolated thunderstorms will persist as well. We'll leave you now with a final look at forecast weather conditions for the region, and then for our selected international cities.
What inspires you? Is it nature in all her glory? What excites you and fills your heart with joy? Is it his smile that brightens a room like the colors of the rainbow?
Make your Christmas colorific with Berger. Shop to win fantastic instant prizes and enter for a chance at a shopping trip for 2 to Miami with $1,000 spending money. See the press for details.
Berger Paints. All the colors of you.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter, that's the move for me. Stability, prosperity, we're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
This season on CBC TV, The People's Business, Sundays at 8:05 p.m. Made possible by our partners, Solar Dynamics, the most efficient solar hot water system.
Well, it's a mad scramble in the U.S. as it's the last day before the election of the next president of the United States. In his final pitch to voters, Donald Trump called for Americans to deliver justice.
Look, we are going to deliver justice the way justice used to be in this country. At the ballot box on November 8th, we are going to do something so special. It will be so special. It will be an amazing day. It'll be called Brexit plus plus plus.
And in Hillary Clinton's final pitch in Pennsylvania, she tells voters to vote for a future that will be stable.
I'm here to say thanks. Thanks for taking time out to think about what the stakes are. I love you all too. Absolutely. Who are still making up your minds or thinking maybe it's not worth voting at all, let me just say the choice in this election could not be clearer. It really is between division or unity, between strong and steady leadership or a loose cannon, between an economy that works for everyone, not just those at the top, and an economy that is set up and run for those at the top. Now, I have spent my public career fighting for kids and families and standing up for our country. And if you give me the privilege of your vote tomorrow, that is what I will do every single day of my presidency. I will get up in the White House and I will think about what I can do that day to knock down barriers, to create opportunities so that you have the chance to fulfill your own dreams.
We're back after the break with a recap of the top stories.
Barbados joins the rest of the world to mark Remembrance Day this year with a special interdenominational service and parade at the Cenotaph National Heroes Square, Bridgetown on Sunday, November 13th. Be there at 8 a.m. as Governor-General Sir Elliot Belgrave, Prime Minister Frondell Stewart, Chief Justice Sir Marston Gibson, Leader of the Opposition Mia Mottley, and members of the Diplomatic Corps lay wreaths to honor the memories of those ex-servicemen who lost their lives during the 2 world wars. That's the Remembrance Day service, Sunday, November 13th at the Cenotaph, beginning at 8 a.m.
This season on CBC TV, The People's Business, Sundays at 8:05 p.m. Made possible by our partners, Solar Dynamics, the most efficient solar hot water system.
The Personnel Administration Division, or PAD, has until Wednesday to respond to the National Union of Public Workers or face coordinated action by the trade union movement. This warning from General Secretary of the National Union of Public Workers, Rosalind Smith. She was speaking after a meeting with NUPW shop stewards to bring them up to date on the impasse between the PAD and the union. Barbados is signatory to international conventions that makes it illegal to discriminate against a person due to his or her sexual orientation. And an attorney at law says this position will open the island's legal and social systems to challenges. Johanna Duglin was one of the speakers at the Barbados rally, part of the events by churches across the island to celebrate the 50th anniversary of independence. In a look at the forecast now, tonight fair to partly cloudy with a few scattered showers at first, becoming partly cloudy to cloudy with some scattered showers and a chance of isolated thunderstorms after midnight. And tomorrow it will be partly cloudy to overcast with some scattered showers and a chance of isolated thunderstorms. Well, YouTube is one of the largest platforms on social media and it has millions of viewers. In this feature, we will look at a young Barbadian female who has her own YouTube channel.
Mittens has an eye for what makes things beautiful, and she has taken her talent to the world through her own YouTube channel. So far, she has over 100 videos, but creating them can be a bit taxing. Her mother, Sherelle Howard Gittins, gives us a glimpse of the hard work involved.
She spends countless hours filming these videos, and nobody in the house can talk, or you can't pass there because she's filming, especially her brother. And there are always conflicts between the two of them about space.
Very early in her vlogging, Gabby realized that many people use makeup to hide flaws or generally enhance their looks. She wanted her channel to be about more than that, so she uses it to send a different message.
Cause sometimes I go on my channel barefaced, talking stupidness, like you can still be you, like the makeup doesn't matter. It's fun, but at the end of the day it comes off. And you're gonna have to go back to being the person without the makeup, so you're gonna have to live with that person.
In recent times, the market for makeup has blossomed. The competition is fierce, but Gabby says experimenting with different products is part of keeping in the game. She adds, being a makeup artist on YouTube requires paying attention to makeup trends. That means patrolling the net for hours, and it comes at a price.
Sometimes I find myself slipping into that, this is not Gabby, because I hear my voice change and I'm like, that is not me. But then sometimes I forget, like I'm just doing the tutorial and just going and going and I'm like, wait, stop. This, what I just said is not what I would have said last year, like redo. And I would stop, take a breath and do it again. Keeping it me is like one thing that you have to do on YouTube. The show off.
Another big thing on YouTube is collaborations. So far, Gabby has done at least one collab video on her channel.
The salty single. I do videos with people. I've done, I think, 3 videos with other people. Look, I don't want to say the quality is bad on them, but it's kind of different because I'm working with other people. They don't work well with the cameras like I do, but then the end result, it's like, yes, like I can't believe this happened from all this chaos. It just makes the videos awesome.
Gabby realized that to keep her viewers' attention, she had to make some upgrades, from a webcam to a professional HD camera.
For me, I just want it to be HD and to have a flip-out screen so I can see what I'm doing, make sure I'm in focus. I think that's the biggest thing about being a YouTuber, to make sure you're in focus, because then you're going to have to go and film the video again and guess if you're in focus or have somebody there, and there's not always going to be someone to stand up behind the camera for you.
A self-taught video editor and makeup artist, Gabby is now quite competent at both. Her mother is very proud of her talents.
When you see what she's able to do in terms of her videos and so on, it's quite impressive, because nobody taught her how to edit the videos and so on. She got it. She used the program that came on the computer initially, and then my brother gave her another program. I don't know what it's called, right? And her skills actually improved.
Gabrielle's editing skills landed her an internship here in the newsroom at the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. Being active on social media has brought Gabrielle face to face with bullies, but she has the support of family and friends. Besides, that confidence she encourages everyone else to have, she has it in spades. Kenita Jones, CBC News.
Minding your business with the kind compliments of the Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union Limited, who remind you to save smart and borrow smarter.
Show me the go-go, wine guy. Show me the go-go, wine guy. Wine a wasting the time and baby, like you have no spine guy. Show me the go-go, wine guy. Show me the
a ZR. When is the last time I caught a ZR? I don't even remember. It was probably at law school, which was a few years ago. But tonight on Minding Your Business, we're going to be talking to Ian Walcott, who is the owner and sometimes driver of a ZR, and find out what the business is like for those in the PSV sector. Mr. Walcott, who has been in the PSV sector for the last 10 years, told us how he got started.
I used to spend a lot of time in Silver Sands, and I met some of the drivers, and they told me if I wanted to invest in a business, try a fishing boat or try a ZR. Fishing boat was $250,000, ZR was much cheaper, so I got into ZRs. But it used to be a business that I loved, but as time goes on, it's getting harder and harder. But given the age of the vans, the fact that my income, my person is set by the government, my income is diminishing while my expenses are increasing. And the government doesn't see it fit to offer us any sort of incentives, concessions.
And those concessions include duty-free vehicles. Mr. Walcott says their biggest expense is maintenance, and duty-free concessions will make it easier to buy new vehicles as most of the issues creep up as the current fleet ages.
I mean, it's common sense. If you look and see, as I tell you, these vans were being made up to 2003. This 2016. This started being made in 93, I believe. Some of these vans out there, 20-something years. The average minibus on the road is 30 years old. If you cannot acknowledge that is needed in other industries and other parts of the private service industry, well, you can acknowledge that I need it too.
And with bus fares set at $2, it's difficult to increase their income. Mr. Walcott says the regulators need to consult those in the sector before taking certain decisions, as things are not getting easier for operators. In fact, they're getting worse.
A lot of good owners have left. A lot of them. A lot of good drivers are left too. Because it's getting harder. It's getting harder every day.
What makes things even more difficult, according to Mr. Walcott, is that drivers and conductors are sometimes discriminated against simply for being in the sector.
When I first came into this business, a man told me that all ZR men start good and they get by. I can see it from being a man that not only owns a van, that will drive my van every now and then. You will pull into a lay-by, which is the right thing to do. And when you try to come back out, 20 cars will pass you and no one will let you back out. So you know what you do the next time? You stop in the road. So when the passenger gets off, another one gets back in, you keep driving. So it's not that you don't really want, that you don't try to start out doing the right thing.
And as for the hustling, well, it's the only way they can survive. It's not easy. I know. I tried it.
Yes, miss. Bus shower seats are moving. You ready? All right.
Mr. Walcott says they are just trying to make an honest living by providing a reliable service to commuters.
The many exercises where somebody get her phone and say, I don't have any money, but we still take them into town. And from working a route daily, you build a relationship with these people. And even if you taught me, these people will still be loyal to ZRs and minibuses because we are loyal to them.
And it's because of things like that despite the challenges, Mr. Walcott isn't ready to call it a day just yet.
So after trying to be a conductor for the better part of the morning, it is not as easy as it looks. As we spoke to Mr. Walcott, we found out about some of the challenges that the owners and the drivers face on a daily basis. And I hope that you now have a greater appreciation for what it takes to have a ZR or a minibus or to work in the PSV sector. And that's it for tonight's Minding Your Business. I'm Lisa Lord. Have yourself a wonderful night.
Minding Your Business, with the kind compliments of the Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union Limited, who remind you to save smart and borrow smarter.
Well, that's tonight's newscast. On behalf of the entire team, thanks for joining us. Good night.
You're watching CBC TV Channel 8, the station of our 50th independence anniversary.
No matter what they say, Gabby the greatest consortium they have in Barbados today. In the world, I have sung calypso, and people love me bad. I believe that Gabby is one of the best things we ever had. I just sing on stage with him. We just get along good. But Gabby is the greatest singer in the neighborhood.
My mother always sang, and she sang well, but she was never one to get a chance to record or anything like that. And my father used to play guitar, which I only found out later in my life. I wondered, where did I want this passion, or where did I get this passion from to want to play the guitar? And I found out that my father used to play, so I have his guitar now. And you know, it's strange, but you know, when you look back, you realize that you have the genes, the singing genes from my mother and father, and the musical side of playing an instrument from my father.
Dr. Anthony Carter, better known as the Mighty Gabby, can be considered Barbados' most prolific songwriter, having written over 1,300 songs. In this presentation, he shares his passion for music, connections to his culture, and his love for children.
Well, there wasn't anyone around to work with me, because remember, calypso and folk wasn't considered as priorities, because our education system was structured to look at the arts as being secondary. I'm not sure we should say secondary, as being almost a non-entity, as being something that the most you could refer to as would be a hobby, and not as a vocation or some kind of career or something like that. It was not that. So there was no one for me to work with when I was that age. I was exposed to most other genres of music at that time: jazz, blues, rock, soul, R&B when it first came out. So I was able to listen to those singers and musicians, mostly out of the United States, and also Red Fusion. It was Radio Fusion, and it was like Bach, Beethoven, Tchaikovsky, Strauss, etc., etc. You know, so you were able to hear different kinds of music. And of course, the diet on Thursdays, I think it was, with Sparrow, Kitchener, Lion, Taylor, you know, Spoiler, and so on. And that's the one that grabbed me most. I thought they were so creative. I used to be wondering, how did they get to write a song about that? What made them so good to be able to sing about just about anything, about a woman, about a tree, about a river, you know, about carnival, about food, about work, about soldiers. But they had touched on every subject. So that is the one that I tend to want to veer towards, you know. So I guess I had the calypso bug since I was about 6-7 years old.
The Mighty Gabby, who formed the Battleground Calypso tent in the 1970s, has dominated the Calypso stage, having won 9 Calypso titles and 2 of the crop twice. He's also been the youngest Calypso monarch in Barbados, winning with the songs Heart Transplant and Family Planning in 1968 at the age of 19.
I felt in awe of the people whom I competed against when I was a teenager. We were talking about Saddam, Aroking, Silvers, Charmer, Shiva. You know, these guys could sing calypso. And, you know, I was just grateful to be even in the room where they were rehearsing, never mind anything else. And then, you know, when I began to sing, I realized that some of them were actually paying attention to what I was singing. And at that time too, one of our best singers of calypso was Jackie Opel, even though he wasn't known for it, because he could sing the other genres of music so well, that Jackie used to actually write calypsos and sing them. And I mean sing them, because he could phrase and he had color and excitement in his voice, you know, and range, and anything you could think of as a singer Jackie Opel had. Right, he had that presence that you couldn't, you know, ignore at all. You know, so I would say that those are the ones that I kind of like emulated. I was glad to be amongst them, and this time I switched around. I don't know if there's anybody in awe of what I do, but the truth is that I am grateful to be with them, so that I had Brad around me since he was 13, 14 years old. I had Classic when he was a teenager, you know, around me. Shawnee when he was a teenager. So there's so many of them that we had, that I personally had around me as teenagers or very, very early in their 20s. And you know, someone like Alison Hines, to tour with her when she was a teenager, that to me was a privilege, it was an honor, and it was fun. With the whole Square One band, and of course amongst them George Jones, the leader of the band. You know, he and I became attached because he was my son, so I look at George like a son.